Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ride 2 here on this channel. I'm KPG-gooner here, and in today's episode guys we're doing another requested setup on another awesome bike. Now the bike that's been requested is the Kawasaki ZZR1400 2015. Now you can see the name by the person who requested this at the top of the screen. Thank you for the request, I really appreciate it. I hope this helps you out. Now in today's episode we're going to test this awesome beast out. This is a really powerful bike with a lot of brake horsepower. It's going to be really challenging, but I like a challenge, so we're going to set it up. We're going to challenge it in a race around a very difficult circuit. But before we do that, we will check out the stats of the bike, and I hope you enjoy this guys. Please give this video a big thumbs up. So let's get straight into looking at the stats, and then we're going to race this absolute monster. So let's get straight into it now. So here we go. Right, so after fully maxed out, this bike takes it up to 745 performance points and it delivers 247.4 horsepower. It is quite a heavy bike, but looking at the stats, the top speed's at maximum, the braking power is pretty decent, the acceleration is amazing, but the handling is only 8, but that's pretty damn decent for a bike this size. So we're going to get straight into a race and we're going to set this thing up and hopefully have a good race. So here we go. Right, so here we go with the race. Now I've chosen a circuit which will really test this bike out for its speed, its handling, acceleration, and we're up against some really tough super bikes which are really fast, so this is going to be a real challenge. I'm turning all the assists off, no traction control, no anti-wheelie, and we're going to just try and tame the beast. So let's get straight into this race. Just remember guys, I'm doing this without any assist and no anti-wheelie, so if you use anti-wheelie it will just make the setup even more stable. Right, as you can see I've got traction control switched off. Now it's not too bad taming the power off the mark with this setup, so we've got away pretty well. So we're up to P4. We're going to try and get into this first corner, try not to make too much contact, and that wasn't a bad start. So it's all about decent control, keeping that front wheel down. We are going to probably get a few wheelies in this race as this bike's got so much power, but look at the power of it. We've managed to get right into the lead there, slow it down with the awesome braking power, and we're in the lead. Let's just try and keep that front wheel down as we try and put it, the power down, and we're managing to hold it. Right, use those awesome brakes, slow it down, get it nice and tight. Look at the change of direction, not much reaction from the suspension, and that's what this setup's supposed to do. I'm going to get into some tricky corners, and you're going to see using this setup it will help you out a lot, because that's the only problem with heavy bikes. When you change direction, the suspension really reacts really badly if you don't tweak it, and this one's not too bad. See, drops into that turn nicely, nice and smooth. Again, just opening the throttle slowly, just trying to keep that front wheel down nice and controlled, and we've managed to pull away. This bike delivers so much power, and the other bikes like the CBR Fireblade, the RC8 in this race just can't match this around this sort of circuit, and that's why I chose it, just to show you how controlled this bike can be, even though with the amount of power it possesses with all the assists turned off, but it's still an awesome machine. Right, slow it down. Now this is where a bike of this weight would be really struggling, but if you take it nice and smooth with this setup, you'll get through here no problem, and you should be able to keep the lead. Just keep it nice and steady, don't full throttle it, just open that throttle slowly, and look, it's keeping that front wheel down and it's nice and controlled, but we've got quite a decent lead as well, which is helping. Again, just slowly opening the throttle, don't need to gas it through there, just keep it nice and smooth, change direction, and as soon as you put the power down, you do get a nice reaction. It's not over the top, and it's easy to control. Again, opening the throttle slowly, because that second gear are going to be hard to control, but I have altered the gearing on this setup, but again, the gearing's just down to preference and what circuit you're on. So obviously you would adjust the gearing for shorter circuits, but this one's got some long straights, so you want it to suit that. I mean, we haven't got it to the maximum gear ratio because we don't need to. It doesn't get up to its maximum speed even on this ratio, which you will see when I show you the setup. But again, we're absolutely annihilating the field. I'm not sure which bike it is behind. It's probably either the RC8 or the CBR Fireblade, which is very good around this circuit, but we're just too powerful. Oh god, got a bit of wheelie there, just trying to control it, just accelerated a little bit too hard, Again, it's just down to a few practice laps on this bike. You get the balance. Again, look at that, how smooth a bike of this weight has just got through that section. That's what I mean, guys. You know, I spent about an hour doing a few laps on this bike. It did take a while just to get the balance, and you will see that with the setup. I just couldn't, the things that I was struggling on was the preload and the spring stiffness. I just couldn't get the balance for ages until I managed to nail it down a couple of laps, and I thought, yeah, that's about right, and I kept it at that, and now it feels very, very solid. It's just about just tweaking a little bit by bit each lap and just trying to get the balance. Again, you've got to be careful out the slow corners, because obviously I've got no anti-wheelie on and it is a little bit hard to handle. But like I said, if you use anti-wheelie and you don't race on pro physics and on realistic, obviously it will be a little bit easier to control. But I like to do it on the maximum just to show you that this setup does work, because if you haven't got any of the assists on, it's just making the difficulty of the setup even harder. And if you can manage it on the without the assist, then you can definitely manage it with the assist. Again, just trying to keep it nice and controlled. I have slowed down a bit, and we have got one bike that is just looming behind. Again, just trying to control that front wheel. You are going to get wheelies up to the third gear. I mean, you've got nearly 250 brake horsepower. This bike is not slow by any stretch of the imagination, guys. This is an absolute beast, and it's definitely a very, very good bike. And another bike this is like is the Hayabusa, the Suzuki. If you want to see a setup on that bike, I would absolutely love to do that, because again, that's another really big and heavy bike, but just handles really well for its size, and I really enjoy using it. But so far we're cruising. We have got a bike that's just pulled away from the main group, that's just probably just trying to edge closer to us, but I'm going to try and keep it nice and smooth on this last lap. I don't need to go over the top, I don't want to crash out. Again, the brakes worked really well on this bike, and I think on a bike that's got a lot of weight, you do need better brakes, and I think the rating on the brakes are pretty good. But with that 9.8 acceleration and the top speed of 10, if you've got a circuit like this and you can get a good balance with your setup, you are going to have a lot of success in races, and that's really good. And also, guys, we are going to probably try and do some live streaming this week. I'm going to probably say Wednesday evening. It's not going to be a definite thing. I will let you know in the morning. What I'll do, I'll send you all a message on PlayStation that I've already got obviously on my friends list, and any of you that want to join, obviously leave your gamer names in the comments, or just send me a request, and we will try and get some races together. I'm not sure what bikes we'll race. Again, I will leave that in the message, but I am sorry that I've been so busy with some other games, because I have obviously the GT Sport beta, but we definitely will do that live stream, guys, on hopefully on Wednesday if you want to join. So hopefully we can get back on it, because there is loads of motorbikes content coming to the channel very, very soon. We've got MXGP3, we've got MotoGP 17. It's just absolutely loads, guys, so just keep tuned and keep on liking the videos and keep on being active on the channel, because I really appreciate it. Right, again, got a massive wheelie there, just trying to keep it nice and controlled, and we're having a nice steady race here. We've got one bike a little probably a few seconds behind us, but we did slow down on that lap. We weren't gunning it. We could have probably stretched our lead even more, because we were feeling really good. Now we're getting to the last bit of the race. This has been a magnificent race on this awesome bike, and we're going to get into the setup very soon. So there we go, we take victory, and that was really smooth, controlled. We got a few wheelies in there, but like I said, if you use anti-wheelie, you won't get so much of that, and you'll be able to keep it a little bit more under controlled. So right, we're going to get into the setup now, and like I said, guys, I keep on saying it, if you want to see a setup, you've got to let me know in the comments, and I will try my best, guys. I am really busy, but I will try my best. So let's get straight into the setup now, guys, and I hope it works for you, and let's get straight into it now. So here we go. Right, guys, we're going to get into the setup, and I must tell you now, guys, this was one of the hardest setups I've done so far. I went with the spring stiffness on 3. I had to really muck around with that, and the same with the preload, and it only seemed okay when it was on its lowest. And same with the compress and damping. I had to keep it on 6 on both. It only seemed smooth with them both on both. And rebound damping, again, I struggled with that, but I decided to keep it on 2 on both, and that seemed to work. So that's the setup, but we're going to get into the gearing. But like I said with the gearing, it's always down to what sort of circuit you are racing on, and if you're racing without the aid. So I went with final gear ratio on 5, the first gear on 5, but the rest on 4. But like I said, that's just down to what circuit you're racing on and how you use your assists. I hope you enjoy this out. Please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you very, very soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.